The reason you clicked on this video is because you're a small business owner in the trades business. And whether you're either starting out in the beginning phases or you're already able to bill $500,000 in a year, which is great, congratulations. But you're looking to make the 7 figures. And how the hell do you do that? Well, I'm the COO of our business, and we specialize in concrete and waterproofing. And for the last 2 years, I've brought in 1.5 million myself for the company, and we bring in about 2 to 3. So a little over half of that has been to my efforts. And reflecting on that, I put together 6 steps on how we can have actionable steps to achieve this. And it's a little bit more simple than you might think. So let's get into it. So number 1, establishing your niche. Surprise. So we want to market ourselves as a specialist. In this competitive landscape, being known for a specific expertise makes you stand out, and it's absolutely true. Identify 1 of 3 core strengths and stick with them. We just want to focus on what we're really good at. What do you do well? And if you're skilled in many areas, specialize in your marketing. For example, if you're good at a bunch of interior remodeling, maybe we want to focus you into basement remodels and basement finishings or interior remodels. Something like that where you're able to capitalize on all of your skills without tossing them all out the window, but we specialize you as the basement finisher. What this does is this puts you in as a specialist. People don't necessarily want to hire a general contractor that just does everything from head to toe, because the likelihood that you're going to be the expert in A to Z is just not the case. You might be the expert in Y, X, and Z. And that's why we're doing this. We want you to peg into the expertise. And what we've done a lot of things. For example, we've done road base, we've done excavating, the list goes on. But what we've honed into is concrete restoration, concrete coatings, and waterproofing. And that's it. We only do those things. And we've become easily the top 3 best in our entire state. So people come to us as the expert, and that's what we want to do with you. Number 2, establishing the right clientele. And this one's honestly massive. So there's 3 main types of work, right? We have residential, so the homeowners. We have subcontracting, so typically a general contractor will be building something, whether it's a bunch of homes or an apartment complex or a tilt up. That's the subcontracting. We're going to work under a GC. And then there's the state work, the government entities that will hire to do whatever it is for either the state or federal. While residential work is valuable, it often requires significant sales and outreach efforts. So we need to keep this in mind. What I recommend is prioritizing the subcontracting work or state work. So the reason for that is these are high ticket jobs. The residential work is nice and it fills the books. We do about 80% government and general contracting work as a sub under a general. 80% of our work is that. 20% is kind of residential. We still, bring on some smaller clients, a little bit smaller jobs. It fills in the books, keep the guy busy. It's fine, it's still profitable, but it's leveraged this way because with these jobs, they're high ticket jobs. We do about 1/10 the number of these jobs to bring in the same amount of profit. So if I do 10 big projects versus 100 residentials, I don't have to schedule as much. It's a little bit less stress. And the reality is I'm probably still making more profit with these 10 jobs alone than 100 of these residentials. And I didn't have to find those. I didn't have to reach out so much. I didn't have to work so hard on marketing. We do 0 marketing. So the reason I'm bringing this up is residential's great. You can put your efforts into hitting just homeowners, and that's fine, but understand that it will require a ton of outreach, a ton of marketing. You need to get your face in front of the public, essentially. With these other jobs, they land on your plate. You get emails on what the GC is billing, or the state will send out the website and you'll have a whole list to go through and understand what jobs do I want to pick. Everything kind of hits your lap, so it doesn't require you to outreach so much. And the reality is, it's just high ticket jobs. You're able to put in a ton more profit. These people have a lot of money. And so you're able to kind of capitalize on this. So take it for what you will, but understand that these are the three, and so choose wisely. 3, the power of estimating. We want to combine the niche specialization and strategic client selection, right? So now that we've honed down who we are, how we want to advertise ourselves, and then we've picked, okay, these are the clients that are going to be able to pay a little bit more. I'm able to put more profit into these. We want to work with these guys. Now that we've done that, we will be able to see results that honestly, I realistically see 40 to 60% in profit margins. And that's net profit. We want to feel free to mix in the smaller jobs like I was saying, but I recommend staying with the high ticket numbers. It'll require you just to work less, but stay just as busy and more profitable. And the biggest one here is we are a small fish in a big ocean, and that's a massive advantage. So what I mean by that is personally, we're a small company. We have, 3 to 4 people in the office and then about 10 guys in the field, okay? So we're, less than 15 people. And that might be, like a good size for a small company, but we're a small company. The reason that this is so good is because our competition, who we're bidding against, the other subcontractors in this work or the other GCs for the state, we have so little overhead that what it costs me to get the job done with the same quality is going to be significantly less than the next guy. And what makes this so massive is money talks. The reality is 90% of the time of all projects, you are going to be awarded if you're the low bid. And that's just the fact of it, because they will vet you for the basic requirements. Do you have a license? Okay, he's got a license. Did he put in a good number? Okay, cool. Did he include everything we needed? Okay, great. Done. You got the job. And you might be 100,000 less than the next guy, but you're still making 40 to 60% profit, net profit margins. So the power of estimating here is you're a small guy punching up. So take advantage of that. 4, keeping overhead small. I mean, this one's pretty simple. So like I was establishing earlier, the best overhead is a small overhead, right? And what this does is less stress, fantastic. More profit, like we said, and maintaining the competitive edge on the pricing, like we were talking about, okay? We basically just have this small cost, and everybody else realistically has to feed a machine of 30 to 50 people. We don't have that. We're gonna come in at a quarter of their overhead, which gives us a very, very sharp edge. And the reality is we don't need the fancy offices. The fact that you have a phone or a laptop is perfect. Just work in your truck. You don't need an office. You don't need anything to show off, right? I mean, just tell you a little bit about ourselves. We work out of the owner's home. In the backyard, we have this man cave, so to speak, and a room of that was converted into the office, okay? He doesn't even have to pay for the office, right? It's fantastic. It's easy. The overhead is absolutely minimal. What, we pay for internet and lights, okay? We pay for the estimator, fantastic. But it's so much smaller than these other guys. For example, just 2 years ago, we put in a bid for $600,000, removing these massive concrete pedestals. I mean, these were like 4x8 concrete slabs, 6 inches thick. We had to bring in a crane to re-roof it as we did all the waterproofing underneath. It was a great job. We were about like 600,000. The next guy was 850. Okay, we shit our pants a little bit. We were like, okay, we left $250,000 on the table. Did we underbid this? We didn't. We walked home with a little over 100,000. It was super profitable. We got it done in 6 weeks. So even though we didn't bring in 40 to 60 on this specific job, it shows you the biggest variance of where the next guy was. We could have thrown another 200,000 on there and still got the work. So it's a massive advantage. 5, the importance of quality and correct application. Delivering quality work is paramount here. It directly leads to return customers, positive word of mouth, which is going to be most of your clientele. The fact is, we don't have to outreach hardly ever. The return calls that we get or new customers saying, hey, I either saw your van or so-and-so recommended you is, I would say, 85% of all the work that we get. So with this, we don't have to worry about marketing. We don't have to worry about outreach. I have to do like damn near zero sales, which is a massive amount of effort that I get to focus on just making the company better as it is. So as long as you do quality work and are positive to work with, you will get a ton of work back for years to come. And for these bigger jobs, we need to ensure correct application and material use. So with this, we have to submit specific materials if you're a subcontractor working for the general contractor, building an apartment. We do a lot of waterproofing, so we do split slab systems on like pool decks, as well as like balcony coatings, foundation waterproofing, you name it. We stay away from the roofing unless if it's a fluid applied, but you get it, head to toe, right? And on this, we have to stay pretty rigid these days with what material we use. And yeah, it kind of sucks, so don't deviate. But on the bright side is if you don't, it really protects you. It shows that you've done everything properly. And when you put yourself into this position, hopefully you're able to have 2 or 3 guys do the work, whatever your crew size is, and you should be just making sure that the quality is being in place. So just do a checkup every other day, twice a week even. And as long as you're doing this, the project will turn out positive and you will bring in the profitability that you originally bid. Because if we don't check on it and we don't have the quality control, then it's really easy for our guys to not necessarily know what to do here or make a mistake, leave something open, and then when we have to come back and fix these things, that eats directly into it. So it's an important step, just be involved. Last but not least, number 6, scheduling and communication. So on this one, we gotta learn how to say no here. We gotta be proactive in communication. If jobs are delayed or things are running long, we need to be realistic with our schedule, be diligent in getting customers onto the schedule. So be quick, do this immediately because things come up and you will forget. And it's okay if you're booked out 4 to 6 weeks. It's always better to be honest than overpromise and then look like a flake. So to elaborate on this, we like to fix things. That's why we're in this business, right? You're good at it. Hell yeah. But we need to learn how to say no. We can't fix everything all the time. If your books are full, that's fantastic. With these steps, they will be. But now at this phase, we need to be realistic with that schedule and we need to be honest and diligent in the communications. Because if we're not, we look like an asshole. We're a flake, we don't show up on time, our credibility is now starting to dive down. And with our personal experience, we're not perfect. And that's why I put this in here. We've had incredible customers that we've been working with for years. Seriously, 1 or 2 projects that we didn't communicate well enough, things ran long, we didn't show up on the date we told them to, for example, and didn't give them a heads up saying, hey, we're gonna be late, immediately pisses them off. It's all it takes, a fantastic relationship of years, and then you just nuke it because you can't communicate and you can't be realistic with your schedule. Just be honest. Don't worry about their feelings, they're gonna be fine. If they need it done in 2 weeks, tell them, hey, okay, I'll see what I can do for you. I can't give you any promises, but I'll make a few phone calls. They respect that. Maybe you can juggle something. But if something goes on long, let them know. Please communicate that. And if you're booked out 6 weeks, that's okay. That shows that you're highly sought after. So be honest with the schedule. And as long as you're good with scheduling, it does take a skill, and communicating, you're gonna get an immense amount of return work. So to close this up, those are the 6 actionable steps to honestly get yourself to making $1 million a year. And I know it may seem oversimplified, but it's not. If you hit these 6 and you're diligent about it, you will. It's just kind of one of those things where you're a good contractor. You're bidding to the right people. You're putting out the right numbers. You do the work. You show up, you will just reach this number before you know it. And I think the big 2 things to take away is estimate well and hit the right clientele with quality work. Even if you did those 3 things, you're gonna be a millionaire. So without further ado, this is what I do. I appreciate you listening. And if you wanna work 101, I do this. I help contractors all day long make sure to go through the right steps to sprint start their business or we work hand to hand understanding what can we do better for your business? How can we tweak things with my expertise? I give you all the knowledge, and then I help you grow. So if that's interested, please reach out to me. There's a link below. And if, you don't want to do that, no worries, man. There's always another video. And with these documents, if you're just looking for some free resources, I have a newsletter for that as well. So no worries, man. Thanks for watching. Sayonara.